Hey guys, I'm Alex Gum. Welcome to another Pokemon Go video. This weekend, we're gonna have the Go Bigger Max Battle Day coming up with 4 returning Gigantamax Pokemon, which are G-Max Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizard, and Gengar. And you're probably wondering, how can you take these down? Well, we're gonna give you guys a quick guide on how to take down these max battles during the weekend. And before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe. We are so close to 3,000. We're also gonna go out and do some battles. I would like to go for some G-Max Venusaur battles, because that's the last one out of the 4 that I don't have yet as a shiny. So if you're on my friends list and you have a G-Max Venusaur, please send me an invite, have me jump in there, and I'll give you an extra boost to help you take down Venusaur, because I mean, your boy needs a shiny. And since we're still talking about Venusaur, let's talk about how to take down G-Max Venusaur during the max battle day. G-Max Venusaur is gonna be a grass poison type attacker, and the CP for the hundo is 1554. Why do we not get weather boosted odds during max battles? I have no idea, but it's gonna be weak against fire, flying, ice, and psychic types. So now let's go over some other important factors like the exclusive charge moves that it's gonna learn, because these Gigantamax Pokemon are gonna be hitting hard. We have Petal Blizzard, Solar Beam, Sludge Bomb, Sludge, and Frenzy Plant. I guess just kind of like be careful with Frenzy Plant and Petal Blizzard, since those are strong grass type moves. I think you're gonna be okay with the poison types because like those moves are not that good. So that's gonna be it. And remember, you can have up to 100 trainers. Theoretically, you can get it done with like 10 to 20 trainers, but I would make sure you guys power up your Pokemon, level them up super high, and max out your fast attacks and your healing moves and whatever. Because if you don't evolve your Pokemon and not power them up, it's gonna be hard to take down. So I say as a community, if you can get some invites, try to at least aim for like 25 or 30 to guarantee victory. Now, when it comes to counters, it's very important to think about Pokemon that you're gonna use offensively and defensively. Mainly defensively, because you wanna stay in these battles as long as you can until the boss is taken down. So the offensive options would be Gigantamax Cinderace, since it's the #1 fire type. And then since you're gonna battle G-Max Charizard on that day anyway, that's another fire type to use. And then for a psychic type, Dynamax Alakazam. Now they all need to have their exclusive moves being their correct typing. So if it's like, you know, Cinderace, it has to have Flamethrower, or Charizard with Blast Burn so they can have their exclusive moves, G-Max Fireball or G-Max Wildfire. And when it comes to tanks, these are the ones that are way more important than attackers, because you want to stay in these battles as long as you can, because you're going to have 3 Pokemon instead of 6 Pokemon in a raid and then rejoin with 6 more until the 5-minute timer's up. There's no time limit, but you have to make sure your Pokemon are alive in order to guarantee victory. So for defense, we have Dynamax Corviknight. The Gigantamax form is not out yet, but it is both resistant to grass and poison types, since it's steel flying type. Just make sure Sand Attack is the fast attack and that it has Sky Attack as its charge move. And then we have the Crown Shield Zamazenta. Because it's a steel type, it will resist both grass and poison, so that's a great option. And it's great when it comes to shielding, and it's also great offensively too. And then we also have Blissey. Blissey is like the best defensive Pokemon for all 4 in general. So just make sure you have Pound, because Pound will help you speed up that max meter. So if you have a Blissey, use that for all 4 G-Max Pokemon in general. Next up, we have Gigantamax Charizard, and it is a fire flying type, which is going to be very convenient for us trainers, and we'll see why. But the CP for hundo is 1651. I got a shiny 98, so I was really close to getting a shundo. But that's the number, 1651 is the hundo. And the reason why the fire flying is convenient, because it is 2 times weak to rock. Other options would include water and electric types. Charge moves are going to include Overheat, Fire Blast, Dragon Claw, Air Cutter, Flamethrower, and Blast Burn. So definitely watch out for Overheat and Blast Burn. The other ones like Air Cutter and like Dragon Claw, you should be okay. but be careful with Blast Burn. Now, same thing, it does require 10 to 100, but I would definitely play it safe and try to get at least 20 trainers and up that are fully powered up. Moves are maxed out completely in order to guarantee victory. So when it comes to offense, I would say as an attacker, Gigantamax Gigalith is currently the best offensive rock type attacker. Just make sure it has Smackdown and Meteor Mash, or Meteor Beam, excuse me, that's a steel type move. The rock type moves are very useful against Gmax Charizard, so make sure you power up one in order to take it down. You can even use water types like Gigantamax Inteleon or even Gigantamax Blastoise, since Blastoise is also featured during that weekend. But Gigantamax Inteleon is the #1 attacker with Water Gun and Surf. Using Gmax Hydro Snipe, it's going to be useful. And then same thing, Hydro Cannonade for Blastoise. Now there is a Pokemon that is optional for both attack and defense, and it depends on the fast move that it learns. Dynamax Omastar is both a water rock type, so it's going to be great offensively and defensively. If you can get Dynamax Omastar with Rock Throw and have it use Max Rock Fall, that's going to be great offensively. You just need an elite fast TM to have it learn Rock Throw, since that's exclusive. And if you wanted to use it defensively, make sure you have Water Gun and just spam it to power up the max meter. So that's going to be a good Pokemon to go up against Gmax Charizard, whatever role it's going to play in your set. And then another good rock type to use defensively is the recent one, which is Dynamax Regirock. Yes, we all know that like the Regis are not the best rate attackers, but they could be very useful defensively, like Dynamax Regirock. It's going to be very useful. Just make sure Lock On is the fast attack. And then we also have Dynamax Blissey. We talked about Dynamax Blissey. The next starter is going to be Gigantamax Blastoise, and it's just a pure water type, meaning that it's going to be weak against only grass and electric. The CP for the Hundo is 1409, and the charged moves will include Hydro Cannon, Ice Beam, Skull Bash, and Flash Cannon. Be very careful with literally any move, because Ice Beam is going to be useful against those grass types. Hydro Cannon is just powerful. Skull Bash is going to leave a mark. And Flash Cannon, as long as you have electric types on your hand or another steel type on you for defense, I think you're going to be okay. I would definitely 100% be sure that you have like 20 to like 40 trainers in these battles, because it looks like Gigantamax Blastoise is the most bulkiest out of the three, meaning that it's going to be full on defense. So just keep an eye out, right? So now let's talk about Pokemon to use offensively and defensively. Offensively, Gigantamax Rillaboom is the #1 grass type attacker. So make sure it has Razor Leaf and Frenzy Plant. And when a Gigantamax, it can learn Gmax Drum Solo. And then of course, Gmax Venusaur is also an option because it is a Pokemon that's also out, and you can power up your best one and it can use Gmax Vine Slash. But if you want to use an electric type because you want to, defend yourself against Flash Cannon, having Gigantamax Toxtricity is the best way to go. Just make sure it has Spark and Wild Charge so that Gmax Stun Shock can do its thing. So yeah, those are some great ones offensively. Defensively, Blissey, no questions asked. We also have Dynamax Suicune. It is a water type. If you have it with Water Gun as the fast attack, that's going to be very beneficial. It will also resist Ice Beam. And then you have the Crown Shield Zamazenta to eat up the Ice Beam and the Flash Cannon if it were to learn that. So it kind of gives you two options to like fill in the two defensive slots, and then just having a grass and electric type attacker in. It's also just helpful in general to just have those max mushrooms to power up your attacks and all that stuff. And finally, we have Gigantamax Gengar. It's interesting that this is a non-starter that's part of the quartet. But 1644 is going to be the Hundo. This is actually going to be the #1 ghost type attacker. And that is something that you should definitely go after. Plus, if you have a really good one, you can use one against one offensively. So it is a ghost poison type. Some people forget it's a poison type too. So you're going to want ghost, dark, psychic, and ground type attackers. So that's more options now that we have more Pokemon in the game. And of course, it has charge attacks of Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Drain Punch, Focus Blast, Shadow Punch, Sludge Wave, Dark Pulse, and Psychic. Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave, those are going to be very nasty. So like, plan ahead. And I would definitely say like the 20-30 range is probably the best way to go. If you have really strong Pokemon offensively and defensively and you're high leveled and your Pokemon are maxed out, definitely like 15 to 20 is a good way to go. For attacks, Gmax Gengar against Gmax Gengar. Just make sure it has Lick and Shadow Ball, and Gmax Terror is gonna be, well, terrifying. And then we also have Gigantamax Grimmsnarl. We recently got this Gmax Pokemon from Go Wild area. If you have Sucker Punch and Foul Play, Gmax Snooze is gonna come in handy. Dynamax Alakazam, you can just use offensively. Just be careful that it's not your last Pokemon, otherwise it's gonna be taken down by like Dark and Ghost type moves that Gmax Gengar can learn. When it comes to offense, Blissey, I mean, use Blissey for all 4 defensively. And it's a great healer too. So like, no brainer, make sure it has Pound, you're good to go. Make sure it's powered up, maxed out, all that stuff. And then both crown forms of Zamazenta and Zacian. Like these guys are also pretty beneficial. You can get it with Metal Claw and Behemoth Bash and Metal Claw and Behemoth Blade. Those are gonna be great tanks and healers. I think that the Zamazenta is gonna be a little bit better because it has stronger defense, but the Fairy Steel typing for Zacian can also come in handy if it were up against certain moves, right? So we should be all good. As long as you have those Pokemon powered up, I think there's gonna be some strategy that has to be played out by community. Like you need to have somebody that's a good healer, you need some Pokemon that are great defensively, and you need that one attacker that can really bring in the hits. So that's pretty much it. And ladies and gentlemen, if this was very helpful, please, I would suggest you subscribe and let us know in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. These are gonna be incredible Pokemon to go after. Note to self, the shiny odds are 1 in 20. I'm gonna probably try to head out to Carson City on that day. I wanna do those battles. I will get some invites for Gmax Venusaur because although there's no shiny boost, I would like to prioritize getting that shiny so I can have all 4 shinies, right? And if we do get some more Gmax Gengar and Charizard and Blastoise, that's fine, but Venusaur is gonna be my #1 priority. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.